Okay, so we're going to build a custom Facebook ad, and now we're going to brainstorm using the process that we just outlined of how to structure a sales funnel with the front end and back end of an ad campaign. Now, specifically in a Facebook ad, we have to decide, are we going to do an image-based, text-based, or video-based? I prefer a video and text-based ad. So we'll have a section that's text followed by a section that's video. It's part of our Facebook ad that we're going to launch. Now, creatively, if the first step is attention, we have to make sure that when somebody sees the video, the first thing they see makes you want to stop and listen or watch to see what's happening. So what are some creative ideas we can do for attention grabbers, specifically for college grads?
I was thinking getting a bunch of clunkers that we have at the dealership, wholesale cars, getting them together and having me stand on top of them, or having them all together at first.
Yeah.
And me standing on top of them saying, recent college grad, don't let this be your new ride, or something along those lines.
There you go.
Yeah.
So if we lined up 2 or 3 cars, right? And we had 6, 7,
8,
whatever. We line up however many clunkers we get.
Here on a Sunday.
And then line them all up. And then what if you ran across the hoods of them?
Yeah.
And we have a video of you running across the hoods of some cars, right?
Yeah.
And it needs to say, something like either on the screen, maybe text on video that says something like, are you trying desperately to run away from your clunker? Are you a college grad and you're trying desperately to get away from your clunker car, your college clunker, right? It could be something like that. So there's the hook. There's the attention grabber, right? A dude running across a bunch of cars. Are you a college grad and you're desperately trying to get away from your college clunker?
Or smashing a window.
That would be even a higher level. But that's going to be a true wholesale car we'll have to get rid of, right? But let's for now, let's go ahead and sketch out some of this. So let's sketch out so we have the attention, right? So the first one is AIDA. So we have attention. And the idea that we just came up with was that we're going to do, the campaign is a college grad campaign. That's the one we're going to pursue.
Yeah.
And the attention is going to be row of cars. And it's going to be you running, standing on cars. Right? Titles, let's do that next. Titles, possible titles could be Runaway.
Recent college grad.
Yeah, so you want recent college grad. That's the first part, right? Recent college grad. Recent college grad runs away from college clunker. Recent college grad runs away from college clunker. So that could be a title for now. And obviously we can polish that up. Okay? So we've got our essential attention. Now, the interest part is where, now the video is going to be probably on you standing in front of a car. So that would be the interest. So in the video, it's going to be you in front of a car. And you're going to say something like, hi, are you a recent college grad like me? Tired of driving a clunker and wanting to get into a nicer, newer ride because you're trying to start the next season of your life. Something like that, right? So we'll talk a little bit about a little pain and a little pleasure. A little hope for gain, right? We want to put a little bit of both in there. So we're going to have something about you in front of the car saying something about, tired of driving a college clunker.
Want to be a little bit.
Yep, it's fine. Tired of driving a college clunker and wanting a nicer, newer ride. Okay? Something along the lines of that. We'll polish it later. Desire. Desire is created when you offer something that is limited in supply, that has some sense of exclusivity, that has a timeline or deadline to it. Increased desire comes from scarcity, where people feel a fear of loss, like if I don't do something, I'm going to miss out on something. So if you make a promise that says, you know, from now until the end of X, I can do something. So we create, let's say, a timeline for the campaign. Between now and October 10th, I can do this for you to help you get into it. Now there's a limited amount of people getting a limited access to a limited program. The more limits you put on something, in the sense of availability or scarcity of supply or scarcity of time, right? Scarcity of resource. The more you do that, the more people want what you have. People like taking advantage of something while it's available. So you might want to put something in there like, I can help 20 people get whatever the number is between now and whatever the date is, which will be the end of the campaign. So we want to put a limit on the number of people, a specific amount that we can do, which we'll have to verify with management, and then a deadline for when it's available to. So the campaign will run for a specific deadline, and that'll be the end of that campaign. So we have our attention, we have our interest, we have our desire due to scarcity. Now we're going to create our call to action. Now the call to action, or our barrier of entry at this point, we said was going to be really low, right? Because when we look at barrier of entry, we have to remember that depending on the audience's relationship to you, that will always determine partly what barrier of entry they're comfortable taking. In this case, we're talking about a total stranger. If it's a total stranger and they don't know you, then you have to use a lower barrier of entry. In this case, a click here is the safest one. So that will be our call to action, right?
Yep.
Click here to either learn more, or click here to reserve your rebate. Click here to learn more, click here to reserve your rebate, click here to get a new ride. Something like that. That's your call to action. Now that's the front end of the campaign. That's the basics of the front end. So now we're on the back end of the campaign. We're in the sales funnel side. So the very first thing they're going to do is they're going to redirect it onto a landing page within your personal website. Okay?
Yeah.
The landing page has to be tailored to this person.
Yeah.
So the title of the page has to be something like
Recent
college grad,
new Nissan college grad program.
New Nissan college grad program, get rid of your clunker, college grad, get rid of your clunker, something like that. But the title of the page, whatever text is on the page that they would see first, has to immediately speak to the campaign. And of course, because I'm a fan of video, the video that they're going to get right away from you is also going to speak to the campaign. In this case, the best one I can think of is to actually do a video that specifically tells them what they were just doing. Since we know that in order to get to this page, they would have had to come from a Facebook ad, you're going to say in the video something like this. Were you just now surfing Facebook, checking out what your friends are doing, making some comments, and then you came across this crazy video of a dude running across cars, talking about how you could get some extra money towards a college car? Are you a college grad and you're wondering, how legit is this? Well, let me tell you. So now you've got their attention, you've related to them directly, and then what did I say the next step was? Now that you've related to them directly. On the landing page, what's the next step? You relate to them, then what do?
Add value.
Add value. So here's the part where you're now going to tell them.
Oh, in the video.
In the video.
Oh, all right,
yeah, in the video. I'm in the video. You're watching my video.
Yeah, right.
And it's me saying, hey, were you just surfing Facebook 5 seconds ago? And now you're sitting here watching me because you clicked on a link and you wanted to learn more about our college grad program. Well, let me tell you exactly how this works and how I can help you personally. Now I'm going to add value. I'm going to tell them how I'm going to solve a problem or how I'm going to make the world a better place. You know, what I'm going to do for you is I'm going to make my big, bold claim. I'm going to talk about how I'm going to help you. So now that's the second phase of the video. So when you're creating the video script for the landing page, it's going to start with the introduction that relates. It's going to immediately go into the adding value. And then what's the third step it's going to do?
Credibility.
Credibility. This is where anything you can do to get third-party validation about the program or about yourself, you're going to use that. So this is where if you have some video testimonials of some young college students who took advantage of a college grad program and traded in a busted up, hoopty for a new ride. It would be great to have a photo of their hoopty next to the new ride.
If you could not get that, since I am new in the business and
Yeah.
I haven't actually even sold a recent college grad a car,
Right, yeah.
would credibility be or higher level management?
Yeah, you could talk. Well, you could talk about the program. You could talk about how Nissan backed. Yes.
Program.
Remember, credibility either comes from yourself personally or it comes from a third-party source.
So Nissan.
When you say
itself,
Nissan backed, the Nissan backed college grad program guarantees you from Nissan X amount and this.
Yeah.
When you start talking about that, that's credible. And then when you have, let's say, a clip of your manager, and he says, "Hey, as the general sales manager here at the dealership, for the last 15 years that I've been helping people get into cars, we probably help 25% of our customers are first-time buyers wanting to get into a nicer, newer ride and get something for themselves." Then what you can get is this: you can get a photo of somebody else's customer for your campaign that can be used for your campaign and their campaign and somebody else's. You don't have to be the one that sold the college grad customer. You can find one of these other people who helped somebody and park a hoopty next to their new ride and have a customer with their hands out and saying, "This is my old ride," or better yet, a video testimonial. I came here because I was driving a car and I'm a recent college grad. So every time we do a recent college grad, you need to be capturing new testimonial videos of those people saying, "I'm a recent college grad, here was my hoopty, here's my old ride, here's my new car they just got me into at Sansone Junior 66 Auto Mall." That's what you need to do. And collect those, because part of your credibility of your video is going to be sandwiching in the third-party validation of either some photos on the video and or some videos themselves. Then what's the next step after credibility?
Call to action.
Call to action. Here's what you want them to do next. So in the video, you're going to say, so if this sounds good to you and you want to be somebody who gets into a nice new ride, if you want to know how I can help you, here's what I'd like you to do next. And then at that point, you can either direct them to another value prop, like for example, if you can have I've created a free special report for college grads on how they can take advantage of these programs, and I'd like to email it to you, or I'd like to text it to you. So fill out this form, or email me, or text me right now, and I will send you this free report. Whatever call to action you think is appropriate. Right? So obviously in your site, on the landing page below the video could be a simple, download the free special report. Get the free special report on college grad programs right now, and then it could have name, email, or name, cell phone number. And that's your call to action for them to access the report. Now the report, again, it could be a 4-page report that you have that basically explains the college program again, adds value, builds credibility.
Like Nissan's website.
Yep. That has the specs of the program. It adds value, it builds credibility, and in the report is yet another call to action. Right?
Yeah.
And that's the sales funnel. And that's what the page would actually look like.
Something like that.
Yep. So you would basically copy and paste the text from there into your special report and describe how the program works. But you would also have in the special report, you're creating this document. You could have photos of happy customers, some testimonials, a couple of little lines in there about that, and the step-by-steps of what they need to do next in order to take advantage of the program. So then you have the next call to action that's built into the report, which would be to come in or to call you. It's the next tiered call to action. So that could be built into the report.
That way.
And in the video itself, when you get to the call to action, you can offer more than one call to action. You could say at the end of the video, if you're ready to get yourself a nice new ride right away, here's what you can do. You can call me and I'll schedule an appointment and go over everything. Or if you want to get more information because you want to learn the program a little bit better, then go ahead and take advantage of my free special report. So you give them 2 tiers of call to action, a softer one and a more direct one for the person who's further down the pipeline. And that is the page on your landing page. And then what you would do is follow the exact same pattern and you would create that same campaign concept, but you would do it not for college grads, but you would do it for high school first-time buyers. You would do it then for military personnel, for military program rebates. You would do it again for credit restoration customers. You could do it for female buyers. You could do it for single parents. You could do it for disabled persons. You could do it for senior citizens. You could do it for any group of people that you want to target. And eventually you should have like 6 different campaigns going at the same time, all targeting different groups. And that's what that would look like. And they're all running in the same sales funnel concept. Just copy paste new information. Does that make sense?
Perfect.
Okay, we good to go?
Good to go.
All right, well, listen, if you're enjoying this recording, I'm Jonathan Dawson with Sellchology. Hope you've enjoyed it. So since we were talking about ads and calls to action, here's a call to action for you if you like what I'm talking about. You can Google Sellchology, Sellchology, and learn more about me and what I do for dealers and salespeople all across the country and world. You can also visit the website itself, Sellchology.com, Sellchology.com. If you would like to connect with me, another level of call to action would be to email me. You can email me at info@sellchology.com, or you can even call me on my phone number. You can reach out and touch someone through the phone, 612-387-7776. If you want to reach out to me about how I can help you or your dealership implement some of these strategies and grow your business through some Tier 4, self-directed, self-generation, cool, sexy marketing. Hope you enjoyed this audio/video if you're watching it on YouTube, and thanks for listening in on this conversation. Bye.